You rocking out with LFOD.
Tune in to LFOD Radio.
LFOD Radio.
LFOD Radio, live free or die. It's the
Boom,
vets.
it's the vets.
You are now tuned in to LFOD Radio, live free or die. My name is Uncle Sam. I'll be your host tonight. We'll be joined shortly by Kay Wattz, born and raised in Boston. She's got a hustler spirit, prides herself on her bar work and authenticity. But before that, we got Amanda Shea, all day, and A-Ball.
What's going on?
What's happening?
Not too much.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Did you have a good weekend?
It was good. I got some rest. I got some exercise. But, pretty low-key overall.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was playing with my dog.
Nice.
Just, yeah.
How old?
She's just over 1 year old.
Nice.
Yeah. A lot of energy.
Yeah,
and,
still puppy zone.
Yeah, she's chewing up all my dad's favorite stuff, and it's crazy. But yeah.
Good girl.
Yeah, right? It's fun. My mom said today, she was like, let it happen. And she pulled something out, and I was like, no. It was just a piece of paper that he could, like, reprint. But, like, she was like, he needs to know. Like, you gotta tuck your stuff away.
Have you used the homework excuse?
No, my homework is digital. I'd be like, my dog ate my laptop. What?
Yeah, no.
And I email it to the presser. Are they gonna believe it?
Probably not.
Nah.
They'd be like, you could just use your phone.
I mean, actually, you can't use your phone entirely for the whole class, but I don't know. It's like, I guess I could have emailed from my phone and said my dog ate my laptop, but like,
It just doesn't sound believable.
does that even happen?
No.
No.
How was your weekend, Amanda? I know you were traveling, but I don't know where. Well, I know New York, but I don't know where in New York or what was going on.
My weekend was pretty eventful. Friday we had a listening session for Brandy Blaze, which was really, really dope. We was at Dorchester Arts Project. And then Saturday, we shot a music video for a model.
Okay.
So, like, that was super lit. Shout out everybody who showed up. And then Sunday, we was in New York at this place called Offside Tavern.
Okay.
Like, downtown New York. It was pretty dope. There was, like, artists from, like, everywhere there. It was a really, really dope experience.
What were you
It's a nice
doing?
little spot. I was with Brandy. Brandy was performing with DJ Y Sham.
Okay.
Yeah, so we just went out there, gang, and just did our thing.
Nice.
Very fun.
Networked, met a lot of people, saw a lot of talented people. Shout out Eva Davenport. She's from Boston. She was out there. She performed. Shout out Frank Knight. He was the one who was actually like putting on. He curated the show.
Oh, yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so it was dope.
Cool.
What's his outfit called? No. His entertainment company. He puts them out.
Yeah.
Thomas, delete this part.
It's all good.
No, keep it in.
That's fine. I was trying to show him love.
We need
but,
someone in the background doing their Google.
Yeah.
Shout out Frank Knight, though. If you don't know who he is, LFODradio.com or Spotify, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Apple, anywhere you could get a podcast. Type in Frank Knight. I think he's like episode 130 something.
I gotta listen back to that because
You were there as me and Tia.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I wasn't on.
I
I
was there.
didn't.
I met Frank.
I wasn't at that interview, but I gotta look back at it.
Yeah.
Look back at it.
Oh my God. Anyway, that was a good one. Shout out Frank, platforms, all them. Anyway, we also just put out that GOD episode, which you can get up there, and season 1, episode 1 as well. Season 6, episode 1. Subscribe if you're tuned in. Get these right away. They're dropping Tuesday morning. Wake up and have breakfast with us. And hit us at LFOD Radio or LFOD Life on Facebook. Let us know what's good. And we're going to shout out the patrons. We're doing a new behind-the-scenes thing. You can learn more about that if you go to patreon.com/LFOD Life. We're one patron away from unlocking the power-up. So if you rock with us, and let's go. And yeah, dude, one more. I hope next week we can report that we have one new patron.
Cool.
And shout them out as well, as we are wont to do. And shout out the record company, of course, for hosting us
Yes.
again in their wonderful space. We're going to be back with K Wattz after this. We're going to kick things off with Set in Stone, Terminology, Dame Grease, Method Man. You're tuned into LFOD Radio. All right, we're back. We set things off with that Terminology, Dame Grease, Method Man, Set in Stone. Then we had C. Wells, J. Critch, Shift, and that last record was Dirty Money Turned Clean, K. Wattz, who's with us now. What's going on?
What's poppin', huh? Nice to be with y'all. I appreciate it.
Yeah,
Right.
you're up here. We've been going back and forth for a little while, but we made it happen.
Yeah, I love
So,
it, man.
Welcome.
Love it.
You said dirty money.
Yes.
Nothing in Boston is clean.
Man, so everything is, so every line I write, it's obviously been through what I've been through or what I've seen. So it's like, sometimes I say Boston is a melting pot, but like sometimes you get here and it's like the energy's kind of cold or it might be kind of different. So it's like, I want everything to be what people say it is. You feel me? If you say it's a melting pot, make everybody feel comfortable. Make everybody feel good. So that's really what I want to see. Like, some people will say, everybody come to Boston, but you might not really know the energy that's here. So that's what I want it to mean. Like, you know what I mean? If you really want to say it's a melting pot, make everybody feel included. So, you know?
Would you
That's
say
what I'm about.
Boston is kind of unwelcoming?
It can be at times.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a fact.
I might agree with that.
I went to Emmanuel College. You know what I mean?
Emmanuel, okay.
Yeah, so I was playing ball. I was doing, you know what I mean? I'm playing ball. But when I really got to the campus and saw things for myself, I did see different things like that. Sometimes they didn't make you feel so welcome if you was a minority group, or if you was a stud, or if you was this and that. So and then when I came across, I met so many different people and I came with love. And then I really started seeing all different stuff. I'm like, okay, that's dope. That's dope to see my people cool. But that's what I really wanted to come across. Like, if you say that's what it is, then make it that way. If you say everybody's accepted, make them feel accepted. But don't say it's that and it's not. So sometimes it can be a little cold. It can be unwelcoming.
It's wild segregated.
Yeah, it can be like that. You know?
For sure.
Well, that's your first release in literally years. So what's happening? Are you building towards a new project with that?
Definitely.
Is it going to explore your Boston? Or?
So Dirty Money is going to be off my EP that's coming in 2020. But as far as the mixtapes, I just dropped a mixtape a couple months ago in the summer. So as far as the mixtape, I wanted that to be kind of different from how I came across with Dirty Money. Dirty Money is going to tell you a whole different story. When my EP come across, like, that's a whole different storyline. But the mixtapes are popping right now. Like, this past summer, we did so many shows for the mixtape. So it brought that up. But the EP, a whole different thing.
All right, where is this mixtape then? Because I looked everywhere. I was on
look like-
DatPiff, I was on SoundCloud, I was on your YouTube. I couldn't find anything.
Yeah, my first mixtape is Intimidated by None. That's
I
on
found that.
DatPiff. Yep. The second one is Won't Keep Me Quiet. That's
Okay.
on DatPiff. No, not DatPiff. In Spinrilla.
Oh, okay.
I press stuff certain places. I want you to look for me. I want you to. Everybody make themselves available everywhere, so that's convenient. But me, I want you to search for. I want you to really get to know me. So make myself different. You know what I mean? So you gotta look for me.
I thought you hadn't put anything out yet.
Nah, that's fun. I want you to ask. So I want you to come look for me. It gotta be a journey. I don't want to be easy to find. I want you to come look for me. But that's gonna be on Spinrilla. So the EP is gonna be different. That's gonna be everywhere. But yeah, that one's on Spinrilla. So
Okay.
yeah.
That's the first time I
Interesting
heard that.
strategy.
Yeah, man. Yeah,
No, it's a
so,
different
I don't want to
approach.
be
I like
everywhere. I want you to look for me. I want you to find me. Like, I want you to see me for instance, like, I don't put my music everywhere. You might see me at a cypher. You might see me at a show. Who's that? I don't want to be everywhere. I don't want to be in everyone's face. But when you see me, you're going to know it's real. So that's where the approach comes from.
How do you get people to know to look for you?
It's definitely happening.
Okay.
Because I done definitely connected with the right people, but shows, ciphers, different platforms, different radio stations. So that's it. That's really how I've been doing different videos. Instagram's been that's been a big thing for me, whether it's videos, pictures, or wherever I've been that I'm putting stuff out. But Instagram's been a lot that I've been able to reach to a lot of people.
Martin.
I see you pop up at the Bridgeside Cypher.
That's why I said ciphers too. That Bridgeside Cypher, I want to say
mentioned
salute,
ciphers,
man. It's
yeah.
one of the biggest ciphers
Gang,
I
gang.
did. Yeah, I love it. The energy,
They're
the
lit.
vibe is crazy. I done met so many different artists from there. Like, like, for instance, people will say a lot of stuff, but they've never been there. They've never seen stuff. I'd be like, yo, there's no support in Boston. There's no events. There's no, step out. Come pop out. You know what I mean? So when I really went to Bridgeside, I'm like, that's crazy. That was one of the livest events I've ever been to. The energy, the vibes.
Yeah. Shout out Aaron King.
Oh, man, yeah. He's
Yeah.
a beast.
Because I walked by it by accident.
Woo!
Like, just through Central. on the
And
way
that's
home,
what
I
I
was like,
love, because, yo,
cyber.
a lot of people said
Just
that.
saw
And the
Lost
alleyway is
Right?
lit.
It's lit,
Like,
right?
it's constantly different, so you
It's
gotta
crazy.
respect it.
I've had a lot of people hit me on Instagram and be like, yo, I saw you at Graffiti Alley. So I knew Bridgeside Cypher. I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. After, like, when you start connecting the dots,
Yeah.
you start going to different places. I'm like, that's dope. So yeah, definitely shout out to Aaron King, because that Bridgeside Cypher is dope. And I've seen so many different artists, so many different people, photographers, different like artists. Somebody was playing the violin, somebody playing the saxophone. Like,
That's
there was
crazy.
all type of stuff. So
Slick.
that was dope. But yeah, definitely that cypher. Shout out DNA in the lab. That was one of the first cyphers I went to and really just like there was a while when I was shy. Like, I came out a lot, but I was shy, and then I went to a lot of different things. And I was like, "Whoo, this is dope." So DNA in the lab was one of the first ones, and then Bridgeside. It's been a lot of
with the
ciphers.
makeup.
Maze
like a
Radio.
zombie?
That's Maze Radio cipher. Yeah, man. So yeah, I just been hitting
Shout out
different
Maze
ciphers.
Radio.
Yeah, man. Maze Radio. They definitely got a lot of stuff popping, man, and they got the hardest artists on there too. So it's dope, and that's what I love too, because all the radio stations, we all getting. Yeah, the momentum's crazy. Boston, Mass, crazy. Hip hop scene, everything. But like New England scene has just been wild.
Yeah. Well,
It's
now
just-
you're gonna.
It's like, yo, this is fire. I love it.
Yeah, we're
And
pumping.
now
No,
that you're
yeah,
through here, you're in the alumni cipher next
Yeah, I
year. If
appreciate
you're around
it.
in
This
July.
is dope.
So
Thank you for having me, because I've been hearing about y'all for a minute. I've been some of the hottest artists been on here, and I've been looking up too. So this is dope.
word.
I appreciate
We're
it.
happy to have
Appreciate you.
you.
That, with you talking about performing at so many shows, like, I feel for me, like, you just came out of nowhere. I remember meeting you at a different radio station about, I want to say almost a year and a half ago, where it was highlighting a lot of like MCs, and y'all were from everywhere. And I remember talking to you, and you was just like, I'm out here, I'm hungry, I'ma just rap on anything, be on anything. And I've seen you perform at so many different places. And my question to you is, like, how do you stay motivated? Like, we talk constantly about artists and like the burnout phase, and like we're working really hard. Like, I see you doing so much. How do you keep going through that?
I would say with that, like, that, what you see is, I felt like for me, I watched a lot of artists before I rapped and did music. So I was playing ball. When I went to Emmanuel College, I was playing ball. When I was in school, I was playing ball, you know what I mean? So that was always my first dream. I always envisioned music. I always envisioned all that. But when I really got into it and I saw what I could really do, I was like, dope. But now I felt like I lost time because I was playing ball and I was doing. And it's not that you lost time. You needed all that to be a part of your journey. But when you feel like that, it's going to make you go even harder. So when I did music, I was like, I got all this music that's just here. And no one knew about it because I was just a ball player. But then when I switched it, they're like, oh, you do this? So I had so much music. So now what you see is just going. That's not music that I necessarily did right now. Might be music I had in the cut. But it was timeless. So I was able to bring it to, future present. So it's been dope to put everything into a project and be able to meet different people and meet mentors. And I don't know what interview I was watching, but somebody said when you start meeting mentors, that's how you know that you're meant to be doing what you're doing. Because different people, be put in your path so you can get to the next level. So I started seeing different things that let me know that I'm meant to be here. So just, there's no burnout because just I see what's here for me. So it definitely gets hard though when you're doing so much and you have to find a balance. So earlier when we was talking about outlets and finding different things to channel your energy, you have to have that. And it can't, it's like sometimes it's just all music, but it got to be other things too. You got certain friends you could talk to, you got certain, or if I'm still playing ball, if I'm still doing music, but this have to be an outlet so you don't get burnt out. But my momentum is just the passion and the drive, and I felt like I had to catch up because I was playing ball, but definitely just to keep going. And I love this. I couldn't even stop if I wanted to be honest. I'm
You got
addicted to it.
tatted on your face.
Yeah, it's crazy too. Because my mom said something to me one day, she was like, yo, don't go and get a tattoo on your face. Don't do that to me. I was like, Ma, I know you love me enough that if I did, you still love me the same.
Oh, man.
So I did it. I tested the waters, but I put a tattoo that said hip hop because hip hop means a lot to me.
That's sick.
That's what kept me alive. That's what kept me going. So, and she still loved me the same. So
How did she react, though, when she saw it?
She's like, you did it. So she already knew.
Okay.
Yeah, she already knew what I was gonna do, but it's funny.
I kind of want to know what your face looked like when you knew you were walking up to your mom for the first time.
Yeah, I still had the hat on. I kind of had it
know,
forward.
like,
Hey,
So that Dirty Money Turn Clean record,
no
is
shame.
that like an old record? Because you're talking about how not everything in Boston is clean and segregation and how things are people are not always welcoming.
Right.
But you're also saying in the same breath that you see the momentum in the city.
Yeah.
So you see some kind of unification.
Yeah.
So is that an older song? You're speaking on some stuff from before and you don't feel the same way now?
it's a mix. You're right, and that's dope that you peeped that, because it's definitely a mix. I wrote that probably when I was in sophomore in college, so it's probably 2019, 2021. And when I was in college and I was just playing ball, even I heard about, Joanna Lucas, who just took off and just been, and I heard about Red Shades, who's doing a thing crazy now. I heard about Brandy Blaze. I heard about, you know what I mean? So I was only playing ball and I heard about these people, and it's such an inspiration. So I did see a lot of different stuff, but at the same time I saw I saw the future, and the future is bright. The future is really bright for us. So that song is definitely a mix. It's a mix of the cold times and a mix of the future and what you can be and what's here to come. Because there's definitely so much that's kicking off in New England that is crazy, and I'm loving it. Dope vibes and dope energy.
I agree.
So, do you have shows coming up that you want to plug?
Yeah, I got one tomorrow, 222 Boston Street.
Okay.
Yeah, so,
This is going to be out next week, so that's in the past.
Right, it's going to be
when
like,
people hear this.
let me go look for it.
Unfortunately.
We got, I know December 12th, it is all women's female. I don't know all the details on it, but I know it's a show out in Worcester. And I'll be doing, what else?
I mean, you did just come off of a huge show with
Yeah,
All Together
like-
Now, Boston.
Yeah, oh, yep. All
Wait,
together
Anna
now.
Ray,
I'm about to say
shout out Anna Ray.
2019 was crazy. Yeah, that was wild. I did JP Porch Fest too, right before All Together Now. But then All Together Now was like, that was a crazy show. Like, as far as her lineup and how she put everything together. So yeah, definitely shout out Anna Ray. All Together Now was wild.
Yeah,
One of
we
the
rock.
best shows I've been a part of. So it's like, yeah, I love opportunities like that when you could put together people that you might not necessarily know each other or for anything, and they come together and put together a crazy show like that. Like, that's, and it's
Very
intimate
good.
crowd and people interact. Like, that was dope.
She does a great job.
That was dope, yeah.
creating
you-
those spaces
Yes.
at Altogether BOS
Yes.
if you guys want to check it out.
Shout out Anna Ray.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
where can people find you on your socials and stuff before we get into this next song?
Definitely on
Because
Instagram.
the music is hard, we know that,
Yeah,
but
yo,
we can
yeah,
at least
yeah.
get them to your Instagram. Like,
Nah, definitely. If you want to find me Instagram, it's at official KWattz, so official, and then KAYWATTZ. And then my next one will be Facebook, and I'm on that is KAY, and it's gonna be Thomas, THOMAS. But in parentheses, you'll also see the K Watts. So yeah, those are my two biggest ones. But hit me up on there, and I'm coming. But I don't want to put myself everywhere. I want you to be able to come able to find me.
all right.
You know.
So is this one that we're about to play? When did you fall in love with? When did you fall in love with hip hop? What project's this one off?
That is off the second mixtape, and shout out to Aaron King, because that's part of going there and seeing everything. That's part of when I fell in love with hip hop, seeing that scene. So
Word.
it's dope.
All right, we're getting this. You're tuned into LFOD Radio. This is K Wattz. When did you fall in love with hip hop?
I said A+ tunnel vision. I don't hear y'all, they be talking too tough, but I ain't scared of y'all. Y'all should be the ones scared. All that fake stunting, a whole waste of life, you just here for nothing. Where the talent at? Where the strength in numbers? They gon' say they rock with you, then try to take you under some bumps. But I know this real. They be mad, so mad, but I don't fall for it. I'm ahead of you, but don't push me. Never liked them in school, but I can play bully. I guess I'm two-faced, cause I can play you too. You don't know me, but typing in YouTube. I stay in their ear like a Bluetooth. Got love for my bloods, but I love my Bluetooths. Fell back from the haters, now they think I'm too rude. I ain't acting funny, I just don't be in the mood. I'm that dude. Everything about my swag, unapologetic. I'ma make you look better like some cosmetics. Had to keep the stress down, it be causing headaches. Competitive nature from them athletics. I had to calm down. It's getting scary. I be talking to God, hoping that he can hear me. I ain't being rude, just don't want the stakes near me. But oh, I can hear him from a mile away. Don't need your likes or need you to acknowledge me. I don't need a social page for you to follow me. They be acting thirsty. Oh, tell them swallow me. Disrespectful with this game, this is sport. If that lane open, I take it full court. God handles point guard, but I'ma shoot first. They try and rob my wave, but they cannot surf. Reppin' the beam, you know I'm a queen. I'ma go 100 or 0, no in between. And I don't let them lean. Yes, I am a machine. And you know what it is. You know what it be. Wattz.
All right, we're back. K. Wattz. He said, ain't waiting for acceptance. Stepped into place, gave him me, and said, accept this. That resonated with me.
I appreciate you.
I've been feeling like that lately. I think it was like Keith or someone tweeted it like this week. He's like, watch out for people looking for acceptance because they're going to go wherever they can find it.
Exactly.
And, you know.
That's right.
So.
Interesting.
That's right. And it's like, that was kind of my life too. Like, it's like, I've seen a lot of people like trying to do stuff just for acceptance, but it's like you said, eventually you're going to lose yourself. Because wherever you can find, you're going to try to fit in. But if you know that whoever you are can be accepted, you're not going to go looking for certain places. You're going to look for the people to find you. When you find that certain group, you're good. You're solid. So let certain things attract to you. Don't always go chasing stuff.
You gotta turn on that magnet.
Exactly. And let it come to you. So that's really what I'm with.
That's what's up.
Solid genuity is so, like, filtering of all the stuff you don't need in your life. Fair to say? Yeah, I like it. Yeah. I was also curious about this song because I think from what we've heard so far, I feel like I get this kind of classic vibe from a lot of your beats. And I was kind of curious about what makes you lean towards that vibe. Like, do you think that like the instrumental aspect of your music is like more towards kind of a classic sound of hip hop, or do you want to like explore other genres as well, or is this just like your natural vibe and that's what your music is about?
I always wanted to do all different type of vibes, but as far as different beats, I don't want too much instrumentals or different instruments or too many different sounds on my beats because I wanted you to be able to hear my lyrics. I want you to be able to hear my sounds.
Okay.
Like, I feel like a lot of the music that comes out now, the beats are so this and that you're distracted from what they're saying, but they might not even want you to hear what they're saying because they might not be saying much. You know what I mean? So with mine, I had a message and I want you to be able to hear that. So I kind of wanted to keep stuff simple.
Cool.
But I can do all type of music. You know?
I agree, yeah. I feel like newer beats, not that you can't be lyrical on them, but I agree that there's more noise in them. Like the
More
sound.
production.
Yeah,
Right.
the production, the sound is thicker. And I was like just ruminating on that a little bit, how you can hear your voice clearly. It's like, it's like there's just less drums and less like, a little bit of less everything, you know?
I appreciate you.
It's cool, yeah. And I've always loved 90s beats. Like, that's where I started in hip hop.
I appreciate you. You know, that's why I really love the ciphers too, because most of the time they pick beats like that so they can really hear the spitters. When I do more of my music, not to say there won't be more production, there might be a little bit more because you gotta have that nowadays to keep everybody in. But yeah, if it was up to me, I'd do beats like that all day because I love just the message and the bars. So,
Yeah,
you know,
I appreciate that.
So, speaking of hearing you clearly, I'm gonna throw a curveball here. You asked us a question. When did you fall in love with hip hop? I didn't tell these guys, but I think it would be cool if everyone let you know when they fell in love with hip hop. So
I already had the answer in my head like 2 minutes ago.
do you want to go first? Then? When did you fall in love?
I fell in love with hip hop, I think, when I was like fifth grade probably, sixth grade. But like Akon had some new records out. I was just listening to Locked Up as I like walked in the door.
yeah, he was
It just
fire.
came on.
Styles P, right?
Oh yeah, it was great.
Shout out to Ghost.
Yeah, honestly, shout out to Akon. Like, throwback to many years ago.
If you had Akon on a hook, it was.
Yeah, I remember my friend, it was one of my best friends was just like, you gotta listen to this dude. And like, he had like the pop records, he had some hard stuff, and I was just like, wow, wait a minute, I like rap. You know, like, and because I was like that. that like white kid that nobody really like knew who he was in middle school, and then they just someone finally just showed me rap. But before that, I was like, my 3 artists were Green Day, U2, and like Red Hot Chili Peppers or something like that. Like I was just like straight up like rock and roll soccer playing kid, and then
I like every single one of those that
Chili's
you
have
named.
some-
Yeah.
oh, I love them, yeah, and like
They have some rhythm to it.
oh yeah, for sure. And like I think rock and roll and hip hop have overlapped for some time. And,
Yeah,
and definitely
It's
like
funny you
stay
say that.
hand in
'Cause
hand.
one of my favorite albums was, I think, Linkin Park and Jay-Z.
Oh yeah,
So like
that
when
was
they,
Linkin Park. I forgot
yeah.
that was the
Numb
third one. Yeah.
Encore.
yeah, when they did that, I was like, I never heard nothing like that before. So when I heard that, I was like, that's
Yeah,
crazy.
that was definitely another one of my like bridge overs was because Linkin. I forgot to mention that Linkin
Yeah,
Park.
Yeah,
Linkin
new
Park.
metal
I
did
like
a lot
Linkin
for
Park a
the
lot.
white boys.
Oh, yeah.
Bringing them into.
Oh yeah, and then Mike
Why?
Shinoda just like was like, follow me, everybody. It was stupid.
Oh man.
How old were you, you said?
She's
I was
trying
probably
to get
11.
the date. in the-
Okay.
11.
I was too young to be listening. Locked up by Akon.
No, I was just trying to figure it out.
You probably learned a lot.
That's a lot of,
You probably learned a lot. from
Yeah, I
that.
probably did.
right.
Styles was talking like the jail talk on that.
Yeah. It got deep.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was some jail talk. Do you want to go or do you want me to jump in?
Go ahead.
I think probably a similar. I guess you really get into whatever music, probably that middle school area is when you really start gelling. I don't really know exactly what artist or like would want to tie it to that, but I do remember I always listened. I didn't even know I listened to various hip hop, but like I didn't really always know it was hip hop. And then my cousin Mikey, it was like 2 people that got me into it. My cousin Mikey, we used to always listen to like DMX and Jay and Ja Rule while we played GoldenEye. But it was just like GoldenEye music. And then like one day I like was a little more curious. He's my older cousin, and he made me this mix CD, like an MP3 CD. You could burn MP3s on a CD, so it was like 300 songs, and it had everything. And then this dude Pete, I used to be in a percussion group, and he had a headphone splitter, and we'd sit there and rock albums with him. But
That's awesome.
and it was all So I guess that's probably when I like really dove into it, is like those 2 moments. But I mean, it was big. It's weird. I'm from New Hampshire, but it was like our town. Like me and my buddies had like the Baller Block in VHS, the Cash Money. So like we were big on that. But then like watching Belly was like a rite of passage. Like Big L was huge in our like it was like a weird climate, like a bunch of hip hop heads and like and then I dove into like a weird sort of indie rap thing, came back around, and yeah, probably like high school when it happened. When
The
did you fall in
question.
love, Amanda Shea? Are you in love with hip hop?
Wow.
I think for me, the question is like when, but there's always a time for me to fall in love with hip hop. I think I fall in love with hip hop a lot. So for me, it's like not a when, it's kind of like a who or a what. Mainly, I just hear it, and if it speaks to me, like I'm in love. I think that a lot of like, I guess I could say like my intro to hip hop was when I want to say 5 years old. I remember my dad being in the living room and like hooking up these like really huge like antennas with the tape and like always moving it around. And then like once he realized that the tape was not like gonna keep it up there, he changed it to a tack and would tack it around the ceiling to try to get Boston stations because we lived on the Cape. So I was listening to every hip hop station out in Boston when they were playing like the Raws of the Raw. And I also am an 80s baby, gang gang. So I grew up in the era of 80s, of the hip hop being more politically charged, Public Enemy era. So I feel like even now, like I've fallen in love with hip hop almost every other day because I'm listening to it constantly. I talk about hip hop. It's constantly around me all the time. So I fall in love with it through my friends, through my peers, through mainstream artists, probably every day. Just give me a track, send me a track. Shout out Tayshawn Taylor, by the way, because that's the track I'm bumping right now. It is so fire. So catch him on SoundCloud. Like I said, like somebody, I hear something at least every other day, or if not every day. It's very close to almost every day that I hear something and I'm like, this is why I love hip hop, you know?
That's so cool.
Yeah.
That's so romantic. Like, I feel like, straight up, it's like those romantic movies where someone's like, I fall in love with you every day, baby.
I mean, but it's the truth.
Every time I open my eyes.
Yo, it's real. It resonates.
Well, thank you, Kay. We don't get asked a lot of questions, and you like ask us direct in the songs.
That's an important question. You know, when did you fall in love with hip hop?
Yeah.
It is.
It's such a cool question.
It make you think.
Yeah.
Memories.
It really does.
So that's facts.
Speaking of acceptance, you've been in a lot of press this year. There's been a lot of publications, and you've been mentioned with like really heavy hitters in the city. Like, how does that make you feel? Like, do you feel like pressured? Do you feel motivated? Do you feel like, how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel very motivated. Like I told you, when I was listening to a lot of these same artists, I was just playing basketball. I had the dream in my mind, and I had some songs aside, and I had some lyrics written, but to be mentioned now with them, it means a lot to me, because those are still the same people I look up to. It doesn't change. It doesn't matter where you're from or where, you know what I mean? I look up for my people who came from this city and where they doing it at. So it's still the same thing, and it motivates me to be right with them. It means a lot. So.
Word. You talk about mentors.
Yeah.
Is there anybody in particular that you go to, or maybe a couple somebodies that people may know that you look to for guidance and for advice in the industry? Well, how you're moving in the industry in the city?
I just, it could be like a small moment, it could be a big moment, but yeah, shout out to the different people that I just come across and really learn from this game. Like I said, like Brandy Blaze been a big one. DJ Y Sham, she reached out to me. We did a couple shows together, and just seeing professionalism and how she is with people, and just that means a lot to see that in the game. And shout out to manager, the wise guy, Sean Pitts. He's been showing me some things and teaching me some things. So you know, shout out to Dawn Hazel. You know what I mean? So there's different people who came across me in the game really show me a lot, and that does. It means a lot. And people teach me stuff every day, and I really, really appreciate it. Because people don't have to. They don't owe you nothing. They don't have to show you anything. And I could be like, look, I'm too busy. So it means a lot, and I really appreciate it. You know?
That's so big.
Yeah.
We're gonna get into one more record. We'll come back. It's Boston Bully joint. It's K Wattz. You're still tuned in to LFOD Radio. We're back. LFOD Radio. That was Boston Bully, K Wattz. Man, the A-Ball having a really
Getting a little goofy.
Just chilling. It's the behind the scenes for the Patreon
All right,
members.
well, so I wanted to ask a question about that last song. Yeah, back on topic. So the whole Boston Bully vibe, like, what got you in the mood to record that? Because like that's a vibe, you know. It's like square up kind of vibe. You know? I'm just curious because I'm always wondering about like. I guess I just found out Sagittarius is a fire sign, so I was like, what got you fired up to do that?
It's great too, because for a while people, because I'm such a loving person, I'm such a caring person. I might come off to, I'm loving. You know what I mean? So, but, right, you know,
I like that little.
When it came, so when you hear anything competitive or real tough in my music, it's really because probably where, you know, I mean, like when I grew up younger in the hood and being like different stuff, but really my basketball mentality, just being competitive and being the toughest one. I was little, but still playing ball, and some of them was real, you know what I mean? They tough, you know, they fierce. So it's like, when I got into music, everything was like that. Like, even when I'm saying a bar, everything's like, yo, get off me, everything's real, you know what I mean? Because you gotta get competitive like that. That's really when I fell in love with hip hop too, like the competitive nature of this. You know what I mean? Every artist overall, we all admire each other, we all show talent, you know what I mean? But the competitiveness is what I love, that drive, that nature, that's what keeps me going. I mean, I got that from ball. So that Boston Bully was really that edginess from that, and really you know, what's up? You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So
That's cool.
you know, me personally, I would never write a diss track or anything like that. I don't do stuff like that. But like as far as tough tracks, that's tough, and that's that, you know, that competitive mentality. When I was a ball player, you know, so you'll hear that in my music.
Have you linked with the bullies yet?
Not yet.
Yeah?
Not yet. But I've heard of them. Yeah. Salute too, cause that real hip hop.
Very
I love that vibe. That's what I'm saying. That real hip hop vibe. That's real. So.
Very thorough. Yeah, I like that you bring the hip hop and ball is like hand in hand, you know. So I gotta ask a question here.
Yeah.
The rock and roll sponsorship that you have, the cigars.
Yeah.
What do you call those?
What I call them?
Rock and roll what? Is the next word. It starts with F.
Frontals.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't know if you said the R or not.
Oh, frontal? Frontal. That's what you meant?
It's like a long-standing thing I've been trying to figure out.
I'm sorry.
To be honest, I will say both. You might have to give me, depending on how many, drinks I might have. But frontals, you know.
You had a very soft R.
You know, it won't be too hard.
It weirds me out when people say frontal.
It's light. I know it's there, but I don't want to say. Frontals. You know, you want to ease into it.
Yeah. I'm not familiar with the rock and roll. I haven't
Round
tried
over.
it.
Oh my god.
And I met them through a show too. So.
Okay.
But that's another thing I like to do. As an independent artist, I want to find different brands I can connect to, especially if it leads into my lifestyle. So that connects to something else. So you can brand. You know what I mean? But I definitely want to find different things that brand and come into my character as an artist, and so that was one of them.
Yeah. I figured we'd shout out your sponsors.
Hey, rock and roll. You know it.
They keep you with the fresh ones. So.
How did that come about? Like, do you have a manager and like a whole team? So how did that get negotiated? You said you met them at an event.
To be honest, I don't have a manager. Everything I do is very independent. I went to school for business management, so it's not that I intended to manage myself, but I did work with different managers. I just saw that I fit myself better right now. I'm not saying that could never change or, you know, what it might be, but right now, that's who's fit me, and I've been able to connect with a lot of different people, and it kind of surprised me how much I've been able to do, because sometimes I think about, like, wow, how did I meet different people, like rock and roll, but it's all just branding, being yourself, and sometimes you don't even have to overthink these things. You go to shows, you just network. So I just came, it was just a show, he networked, he liked my music. I was like, I like your brand, I like what you're doing, and sometimes it just comes into something that you can work with for a while.
Yeah. It's crazy how things can work out like that.
That's why I said, when you see more things work out like that, you're like, okay, this might be something I can do. And whether it's networking or music, wherever it is, like, even if it was a little, like, I've done web series and everything like that, so you never know what, like, in your music, you know, so that was one of my favorites, too. So just doing acting, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
It's a lot of waiting around and but when you're actually in front, it's fun. I mean, different scripts in there, you never know.
I thought that was cool how they worked local artists into it, so you'd have a part, and then, like, they'd be able to show off your music, and then go back and forth.
And it's hard. I know, like, overall, people will see the end product. You know how hard it is to get those local artists to come up to that scene and get that scene done? Like, that's the hardest part, because everybody has our own schedule. We got everything we're doing, so that's the hardest part, to get different
Are they dropping a new season? Do you know that?
That I don't know, because like I said, it got really hard just to keep up with everybody. And as soon as everybody started dropping, the buzz got bigger with the music. So they're doing different things, and that became the hardest, to keep everyone together and get them different scene. I need you on this day. It got hard. So.
Yeah, I always thought that was a cool thing.
It was a lot of fun.
But yeah, once artists get busy,
it's hard to keep up, man.
Yeah, because you get pulled in a million directions.
So you handle all your booking as well? All booking goes through you as well?
Word. Yeah. So we got one more question on our end for you. Some might say it's the most important. You're here at LFOD Radio, Live Free or Die. What does Live Free or Die mean to you?
Be able, if I can't be myself, I'd rather die. I mean, if I can't be able to stand for what I believe in, be able to put out the messages I want to be able to put out, then what am I here for? I mean, a lot of people I feel like they're just here. They don't really know who they are, they don't really know what they stand for, but the sooner you can get towards that message, the sooner the better, because you're going to help out so many people. So if you don't know what you stand for, I mean, and if whatever you believe in, be willing to believe in it enough that you might have to die for it. And not everyone's going to be willing to do that, but I'm one of them. What I believe in is you should be able to be yourself before anything. If we don't got that choice, I don't really know what we got.
Right.
So,
I actually do have one more question.
yep.
Because you said you found your message.
Yeah, yeah.
If you could put your message into like a similar sentence, what would that be?
My message would be, whatever you think you need to say it. I went so many years not saying what I wanted to say because I thought people wouldn't listen, or I thought it wasn't important enough. I don't know why. It might be whether you're in a relationship, or maybe your family members might tell you, you don't need to say that. You don't need to. Make sure you say it. You never know whose life you could be saving, or what message you begin across for certain people. So whatever you feel you need to say it. Whether, before it's too late. 'Cause life is short too. So,
Absolutely.
Facts.
Well, thank you for coming through here, Kay, and sharing all that with us.
I appreciate you
Sharing
guys
this
for real.
time.
Appreciate
No,
you.
appreciate
We appreciate it.
it.
One more time, at official K Wattz on Instagram.
Yep.
You got to repeat the Facebook for me.
K
Definitely.
Thomas.
K
Watts.
Thomas. Yep. So KAYTHOMAS. K Thomas, but K Wattz will pop up too. So if you type in the
Okay.
K Wattz, you'll see the K Thomas, but you want to click that one.
Word. And you can find us at LFOD Radio everywhere, LFOD Life on Facebook. We're back next week with DJ Y Sham. Make sure you subscribe so you get these episodes right away. We're on most podcast apps. But if you can't find us on yours, let us know. We'll get it added. I would definitely check out the YouTube too. We got a few new subscribers today, which is like cool. They've been starting to run up, and we put a lot of things on there. Some extra bars. You got extra bars for us today?
Let's get it. Yes.
So these extra bars will be coming up. Subscribe, you get that little notification. I don't have to keep reminding you. It's nice. It works for everybody. And we launched a new website this week too. So
Yeah.
yes, I texted it to you. Well, anyway, sorry. We launched a new website this week.
We did.
So if you go to LFODradio.com, it's going to look a little different. Or you could just go to LFOD.life. Thank you. How do I turn this mic up? That's what I miss about the radio. I used to be able to just turn it off. Right now it's
Damn.
like trying to do the outro, and it's just
Used to mute me?
like, he's
Yeah.
like
my
My name's
things
Bennett.
out
I
loud.
ain't in it.
I believe it. I believe it.
But I saw it.
I'm salty, but it's cool.
So check out the new website if you want. Let us know what you think. And one more time, thank you to the patrons. Patreon.com/LFODlife. One more patron releasing some behind the scenes stuff. Artists and managers, if you heard records today and you want to know how to get on here, submissions at LFODradio.com. That's how we met K Wattz. That's how we meet pretty much everyone we rock with. They send us records. If we like them, we go from there. And thank you, Amanda. Thank
Appreciate
you,
y'all.
A-Ball.
Thank you.
Shout out to Thomas and Miss Back Home, the record company, for having us. And we'll be back next week.